If you ever feel like the concept of God's wrath and eternal hell is unjust, cruel, or extreme, you need to understand this. Any good justice system assigns a punishment that fits the crime. The more severe the crime, the more severe the punishment. The life of a person should be more valuable than the life of an animal, for example. With that in mind, let me ask you, what is the value of God? What's the value of God? God's worth is quite simply infinite. It's incalculable. Therefore, the wrath of God and eternity in hell is the appropriate punishment for spitting in his face and rejecting him. It's just, it's right, it's in proportion to the offense. And we've got to understand, and this is such a hard truth, we've got to understand that any desire in us to lessen the severity of God's wrath or the severity of hell is really a desire to devalue who God is. If the punishment must fit the crime in order for justice to be done, then the only way to reduce the punishment is to reduce the severity of the crime. And the only way to do that is to reduce the value and worth of God. I know that's hard, but the worth of God must not, cannot be reduced so that we can claim hell and his wrath are unjust. God is infinitely worthy. He has loved us infinitely, and rejecting him is infinitely evil. Would you write this down? The severity of God's wrath is proportionate to God's worth. The severity of God's wrath is proportionate to God's worth.